day 2 of trying to convince my dad to go carnivore, and today I'm gonna cook the thing I eat pretty much every day. It's super simple. It'll essentially just be meat, eggs, and avocado. And you can do, I'm gonna add a little sauce to go on the top, and I try to do everything out of one pan if possible because that'll keep me from having a ton of dishes to do. And I know technically I think you're supposed to like heat up the pan first. But I am not a professional chef, so this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. The salt is the Celtic sea salt. Paul's mom put me on this stuff because apparently it's supposed to be better for you. I don't know a whole lot about all that. All I know is that everything in the store is bad now, so I add quite a bit of salt now just because it's the salt and pepper is the only thing that elevates the flavor, so I do add quite a bit. The other thing is pepper. This pepper is actually whole pepper kernels that I ground up myself. I found that that tastes so much better than the regular pepper. If you have the time to do that, absolutely do it. It's gonna make it taste so much better. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up. So that meat is already done. Because I cooked all the meat together, there's a lot of juice in here, and I'm honestly just trying to boil some of that out. I'm gonna dump my meat out, but I'm gonna leave that sauce in there because I'm gonna actually use that to make my sauce for my meat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this sauce and I'm gonna I actually don't need water because none of it's stuck to the pan. If it got stuck to the pan, I'd use water. But I'm gonna put like a big chunk of butter in there. You can eat as much butter as you want on the carnivore diet, so I add a lot. And then I'm gonna throw in some milk. And then I add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, but Paul actually added, no, too much salt. Paul added honey. It's actually overcooking now, so I'm not gonna add it. But Paul actually added honey one time he made it for me. I absolutely loved it that way, and I do it every now and then, just for a bit of a different flavor. Honestly, you could probably add whatever you want to this sauce. So, like, I just usually do salt and pepper, but like if you're not going strict, you might be able to add like essential oils for taste. Now that that's all done, I'm gonna use the stuff in the pan to make my eggs. So I'm gonna again throw a chunk of butter in there because I like a lot of butter, and then I'm gonna throw my eggs in there. So I'm gonna do 2 eggs today, and I never put it directly on the stovetop when I initially put the eggs in. So the way I cook eggs is I go back and forth. So I'll do a little bit of mixing off the stovetop and then a little bit of mixing on the stovetop. So I'm gonna add a little bit of milk in there. And then I don't even have the stove on right now. I mean, eggs cook super fast when everything's so hot. So I didn't even turn the stove on. I might here in a second. And I'm just mixing it. And if I feel like it's cooking too fast, then I'll take it off. I want it to be just a little bit undercooked because it just makes this really delicious texture as opposed to dry eggs. So that's already done right there. The last thing I do is cut my avocado, and I add a little salt and pepper to the whole thing. I found a way to cut an avocado online that I absolutely love, or I cut it into quarters, and it makes it super easy to get the seed out. And then instead of like pulling it out with a spoon, I just peel off the outside. There you go. And then I lay that on my plate and I do it 3 more times. And that is it. Just eggs, avocado, and meat. That's what I eat almost every single day. I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt and pepper to the whole thing. Maybe add some cheese if you want a bit of a different flavor, or for the sauce, just add a little bit of honey. And for that sauce, make sure you mix it to a kind of a thicker consistency. That's the meal I eat almost every single day. Super easy, super quick. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day, and I hope this has encouraged a little bit of healthier habits.